Commander Thomas Wilson stood at the large window of the International Space Station, staring at the massive alien ship that had appeared just hours ago. The ship was unlike anything humans had ever built. It shimmered like liquid metal and was at least 20 times larger than the ISS. "Commander, they're requesting to dock," said Lieutenant Mary Roberts, her voice steady despite the tension in the air. The entire crew of 15 had been awake for the past 18 hours, ever since the strange object first appeared on their radar. "Let them know they have permission," Thomas replied, straightening his uniform. As the commanding officer of humanity's first contact situation, he knew his next actions would go down in history. The alien ship connected to the station with surprising gentleness. Thomas watched as the airlock cycled, his heart pounding but his face showing nothing but calm professionalism. When the inner doors finally opened, he found himself face to face with creatures that looked nothing like the little green men from old movies. The aliens were tall and slim, with pale blue skin that seemed to shimmer under the station's lights. Their ambassador, who introduced himself using a translator device as representative of the Galactic Council, stood nearly 8 feet tall. "We greet you, humans of Earth." The alien's words came through the translator in perfect English. "We have been observing your world for some time." Thomas nodded, maintaining his composure. "Welcome to the International Space Station. I'm Commander Thomas Wilson." The alien's large, silver eyes studied him with obvious curiosity. "We must admit, Commander, we are surprised by your survival. Your world is classified as a Category 12 death world in our databases." "A what?" Mary asked from behind Thomas. "A death world, a planet with conditions so harsh that intelligent life should not survive there," the alien explained. "High gravity, extreme temperature variations, dangerous wildlife, natural disasters, and toxic substances in your air and water." Thomas exchanged glances with his crew. Everything the alien had listed was just normal Earth to them. And yet, the alien continued, "You not only survived, but built a spacefaring civilization. Most impressive, though concerning." "Concerning?" Thomas asked, noticing a shift in the alien's tone. "Yes, you see, Commander, species from death worlds are different. Your bodies and minds have evolved to survive conditions that would kill most sentient beings. This makes you potentially dangerous." Before Thomas could respond, alarms started blaring throughout the station. Mary rushed to her console. "Commander, multiple ships just appeared in orbit around Earth. They're huge." The alien ambassador seemed unsurprised. "The Galactic Council wishes to establish diplomatic relations with humanity. But first, we must assess your civilization's potential threat level. Those ships carry our diplomatic delegation." Thomas felt a chill run down his spine. The way the alien said diplomatic delegation sounded more like military inspection. He straightened his back and met the alien's silver eyes. "We look forward to proving that humanity can be a valuable ally to the Galactic Council," he said carefully. "But I should warn you, trying to intimidate us with a show of force isn't the best way to start our relationship." The alien's expression changed in a way Thomas couldn't interpret. "Fascinating," it said. "Most species would show fear at such a display. You show determination." "Welcome to dealing with Deathworlders," Thomas replied with a slight smile. "We're full of surprises." As he led the alien delegation deeper into the station for their first official meeting, Thomas couldn't shake the feeling that humanity's journey to the stars was going to be very different from what anyone had imagined. The galaxy was about to learn why Deathworlders demanded respect, whether they liked it or not. Ambassador Rachel Anderson walked through the gleaming halls of the Galactic Council's space station, her steps firm despite the lighter artificial gravity. 2 weeks had passed since first contact, and Earth had sent her to handle the diplomatic talks. She knew her job wouldn't be easy when she noticed how other alien species moved away from her in the corridors. "They act like we're going to bite them," muttered Jack Peters, her security officer, keeping pace beside her. "We might as well be monsters to them," Rachel replied quietly. Did you see how they reacted when you helped that maintenance worker lift the fallen beam yesterday? Jack had easily lifted a metal beam that would have taken 3 of the alien workers to move. The aliens had stared at him like he was some kind of superhero. Their meeting room was large and circular, with seats for representatives from 20 different species. Rachel took her place at the table, noticing how the chairs on either side of her remained empty. "We will now discuss Earth's integration into the galactic community," announced the council leader, a tall being with crystal-like skin. "However, some concerns have been raised about human unpredictability." Rachel kept her face neutral. "We have followed all your protocols and regulations since first contact. What exactly are these concerns?" A red-skinned alien stood up. "Your species casually lives in conditions that would kill most of us instantly. You eat substances that are poisonous to every other known species. Your entertainment includes willing exposure to adrenaline-producing situations. You are walking weapons." "We are survivors," Rachel corrected firmly. "There's a difference." Suddenly, alarms blared through the station. The council leader's crystal skin flickered with colored lights, their species' way of showing alarm. "Security breach in Dock 7. A voice announced over the station's speakers. "Unknown forces have boarded." Rachel and Jack exchanged quick looks. They had trained for this kind of situation. "Let us handle this," Rachel offered, standing up. "Consider it a demonstration of human peacekeeping abilities." "Absolutely not," the council leader protested. "You could be killed." Rachel was already moving toward the door, Jack beside her. "Trust me, we're harder to kill than you think." They reached Dock 7 to find chaos. A group of rouge aliens, their bodies covered in thick armor, were threatening station workers with energy weapons. The station's security forces stood back, clearly overwhelmed. Official Earth representatives. Rachel called out clearly, "Lower your weapons." The intruders laughed, a strange gurgling sound. One of them fired a warning shot that left a scorch mark on the wall. What happened next stunned the watching aliens. Jack moved with shocking speed, covering the distance to the nearest intruder before they could react. His gentle takedown throw sent the alien flying. Rachel ducked under energy fire and disarmed another attacker with moves that looked impossibly fast to the watching council members. In less than 2 minutes, all 6 intruders were disarmed and subdued. Rachel and Jack hadn't even broken a sweat. The council leader approached slowly, crystal skin now pulsing with mixed colors. "That was most enlightening. Perhaps we have been looking at this situation from the wrong angle." Rachel straightened her slightly rumpled diplomatic uniform. "Humans don't look for fights, but we finish them when necessary. We'd rather be your allies than your enemies." As station security led away the intruders, Rachel noticed the other aliens no longer moved away from her. Instead, they watched with something new in their eyes, respect mixed with awe. The misunderstanding was starting to clear up, but Rachel knew this was just the beginning of humanity's complex relationship with the galaxy. Captain Michael Brooks stood in the training arena of the Galactic Military Academy, his boots planted firmly on the metallic floor. Around him, thousands of alien spectators watched from the stands, their various forms creating a rainbow of colors against the stark white walls. The challenge had come 3 days ago. Admiral Kex, a renowned warrior from a high-gravity world, had questioned Earth's military capabilities. Now Michael would prove what a human soldier could do. "This demonstration will test endurance, strength, and combat skills," announced the Academy's director. "Both participants have agreed to non-lethal combat." Michael studied his opponent. Admiral Kex stood 8 feet tall, with thick armor-like skin and 4 muscular arms. He came from a planet with 1.5 times Earth's gravity. Impressive to other aliens, but nothing special to a human. "Begin." The director's voice echoed through the arena. Kex charged forward with surprising speed. Michael didn't move, waiting until the last second before stepping aside. The alien's momentum carried him past, but he recovered quickly, all 4 arms swinging in complex patterns. Michael dodged most hits and blocked others, feeling the force behind them. To the watching aliens, it seemed impossible that the smaller human could withstand such impacts. They didn't understand that Earth's higher gravity had made humans naturally stronger than they looked. The fight continued for 30 minutes. Kex's movements began to slow, his breathing becoming labored. Michael, thanks to human endurance, had barely started sweating. "How?" Kex gasped, backing away. "Your world's gravity is higher than mine, yet you show no fatigue." Michael allowed himself a small smile. "Humans evolved to be persistence hunters. We can keep going long after other species need to rest." To demonstrate, Michael suddenly switched from defense to offense. His movements became a blur of practiced efficiency, each strike precisely placed. Kex found himself overwhelmed by the human speed and endurance. Within minutes, the alien admiral was on his knees, all four arms raised in surrender. The arena fell silent. "I yield," Kex announced, his voice carrying respect. "Never in my career have I faced such a warrior." Michael helped him up, showing the good sportsmanship that was also part of human nature. "We're not warriors by choice, Admiral. We're survivors who learned to fight because our world gave us no choice." The Academy director approached, flanked by various military observers from different species. "Captain Brooks, this demonstration has raised serious questions about human military potential." "That's why we seek peace," Michael replied firmly. "Humanity doesn't want to fight, but we will if we must, and we're very, very good at it." The director's multiple eyes blinked rapidly. "The Galactic Council must be informed. This changes everything we thought we knew about Deathworld species." As Michael left the arena, he heard the excited whispers of the alien spectators. They had just witnessed why humans were different, why Earth's harsh conditions had created something the galaxy had never seen before. The message was clear. Challenging humans to combat was a serious mistake. The galaxy was about to learn this lesson the hard way. Lieutenant Jessica Thompson crouched behind a fallen tree on New Eden, Earth's first colony world. Above her, 3 alien warships hovered like angry wasps. The rogue alien fleet had attacked without warning, expecting an easy victory over the small human settlement. They were wrong. "Status report," Jessica whispered into her comm unit. Her team of 20 soldiers had spread out through the forest, using the dense vegetation as cover. "Team 1 in position," came the quiet reply. "They still haven't spotted us." The aliens had made 2 big mistakes. First, they thought their technology made them superior. Second, they didn't understand how humans fought. "Remember," Jessica told her team, "we're not trying to destroy them. We're teaching them a lesson." The alien troops had landed in the colony center, expecting the humans to hide in buildings. Instead, they found empty streets. Now, confused alien soldiers searched the settlement, their advanced weapons ready but useless against an enemy they couldn't find. Jessica smiled as she watched them cluster together, clearly uncomfortable in the forest environment. On their homeworlds, such dense plant growth was rare. They weren't used to fighting in nature. "Begin operation reminder," she ordered. Her soldiers moved like ghosts through the trees. Years of training combined with natural human abilities made them nearly invisible. The first alien patrol never knew what hit them. Non-lethal stun weapons dropped 6 soldiers before they could raise an alarm. The second patrol spun around at the sound of a snapping twig, only to find nothing. Seconds later, they too were unconscious. The humans struck fast and vanished, using tactics learned from Earth's ancient hunters. "How are they doing this?" one alien commander shouted, his words caught by listening devices. "Our sensors show nothing." Jessica's team had covered themselves in mud, keeping their heat signatures hidden. They used the trees for cover, the wind to mask their sounds, and the shadows to conceal their movements. Basic Earth survival skills that seemed like magic to the aliens. Within an hour, half the invasion force was down. The aliens retreated to their ships in panic, leaving their unconscious comrades behind. Jessica's team emerged from the forest, collecting the stunned aliens for medical care. "Colony Command to Lieutenant Thompson," her comm crackled. "The alien ships are leaving orbit. Mission accomplished." Later, in the colony's command center, Jessica filed her report while watching the medical teams treat the captured aliens. None were seriously hurt. That hadn't been the point. "Ma'am," one of her soldiers reported, "we intercepted their final transmission to their home base. Want to hear it?" Jessica nodded. The translated message played. "Abort mission. Humans don't fight like normal species. They move like predators, think like hunters, and strike like natural disasters. We severely underestimated them. The legends about Deathworlders are true. Send that recording to Earth Command," Jessica ordered. "The galaxy needs to understand. Humans aren't just strong or tough. We're smart, adaptable, and very, very good at surviving." As she looked out the window at her peaceful colony, Jessica knew this incident would change how the galaxy viewed humanity. Sometimes the best way to keep peace was to show others why starting a war would be their worst mistake. Dr. Daniel Carter sat in his lab aboard the Galactic Research Station, surrounded by holographic displays showing combat data from 100 different species. For 3 months, he had studied alien military histories, looking for patterns that everyone else had missed. "Computer, show me the comparison again," he said, rubbing his tired eyes. The display lit up with charts showing various species' physical capabilities. The data was clear. Most intelligent species came from worlds with gentle conditions, low gravity, stable climates, and few natural predators. Their bodies evolved for thinking, not fighting. Dr. Carter, his assistant, Linda Wells, entered the lab carrying more data chips. "The Council sent the final records you requested. Combat statistics from all known spacefaring races." Daniel nodded, not looking away from the displays. "Did you notice something strange about these numbers, Linda?" She stepped closer, studying the charts. "The variation in strength and endurance. It's huge." "Exactly." Daniel stood up, pacing as he thought. "Most species can only fight at full strength for a few minutes. Their bodies aren't built for long conflicts. But humans." He pulled up Earth's data. The numbers were shocking compared to other species. Humans could run longer, lift more relative to their size, and survive conditions that would kill most aliens instantly. "It's not just our muscles," Daniel explained, pointing to different charts. "Our bones are denser, our skin is tougher, and our bodies heal faster. Earth's gravity and harsh conditions forced us to evolve these traits." Linda's eyes widened as she understood. "We're not just strong. We're built to survive." "Look at this," Daniel said, showing a new display. "Average planetary conditions for intelligent life. Most species evolved on worlds with half of Earth's gravity, stable temperatures, and few natural disasters." The computer showed images of alien homeworlds, peaceful places with gentle weather and predictable seasons. Then it showed Earth, with its earthquakes, hurricanes, extreme temperatures, and countless other dangers. "We're not special because we're strong," Daniel said quietly. "We're special because Earth never gave us a choice. Adapt or die. That was nature's rule on our world." He sent his findings to the Galactic Council immediately. The response came within hours. An emergency meeting was called to discuss his discovery. As Daniel packed his research for the presentation, he realized something important. The galaxy wasn't afraid of human strength. They were afraid of human adaptability. Every challenge that should have killed humanity had only made them stronger. "The galaxy needs to understand," he told Linda as they left the lab. "Trying to fight humans isn't just dangerous. It's pointless. We've spent our entire history learning to survive things that should have killed us. What makes anyone think they can do better?" His research would change how the galaxy saw humans forever. Sometimes the most important discoveries weren't about finding new things, but understanding old ones in a new way. General Robert Hayes watched from the bridge of the Earth defense ship Determination as the enemy fleet approached Mars orbit. After months of small conflicts, A large group of alien separatists had decided to prove that humans weren't as tough as everyone claimed. "All ships report ready, sir," announced Commander Bill Foster. "The enemy fleet outnumbers us 3-1. Robert nodded calmly. "Just like we planned. Let them think they have the advantage." The alien fleet moved with confidence, their 100 ships forming an attack pattern. They expected the 30 human vessels to either flee or surrender. They didn't understand human strategy. "Begin Operation Earthborn," Robert ordered. The human fleet split into smaller groups, moving in ways that seemed random to the aliens. The enemy responded by breaking formation to chase them, exactly what Robert wanted. "Now," he commanded. Human ships suddenly changed direction with impossible speed. The alien vessels, built for beings used to lower gravity, couldn't match their maneuvers. While alien crews struggled with high turns, human crews functioned normally. "First wave, strike now," Robert ordered. 10 human ships dove straight through the scattered alien formation. Their weapons weren't stronger, but they didn't need to be. They targeted engines and weapons with surgical precision, disabled ships without destroying them. The aliens tried to regroup, but Earth's ships were everywhere at once. Humans had learned warfare on a planet where predators attacked from all directions. Space combat wasn't that different from surviving in Earth's wilderness. "Sir, they're sending a surrender signal," Bill reported, trying not to smile. Robert opened the communication channel. The alien commander appeared on screen, looking shocked. "How?" he demanded. "Our ships are more advanced. Our weapons are stronger. We had more numbers." "Technology isn't everything," Robert replied. "Humans learned to fight smart because we had to. Your ships are built for comfort. Ours are built by people who evolved on a death world." The battle had lasted less than an hour. 40 alien ships were disabled. The rest were retreating, and not a single vessel had been destroyed. It was the perfect demonstration of human combat philosophy: win without unnecessary destruction. Later, in his quarters, Robert wrote his report to Earth Command. "The aliens finally understand," he wrote. "We don't fight because we want to. We fight because we've spent our entire history learning how to survive. They thought they could overwhelm us with numbers and technology. Instead, they learned why Earth's harsh conditions made us different." As he looked out at Mars through his window, Robert knew the galaxy would never be the same. Sometimes the best way to prevent future wars was to show why starting them was a bad idea. Ambassador Emily Parker stood before the Galactic Council's emergency session. The massive chamber held representatives from over 500 species, all gathered to discuss one topic: the human problem. "The evidence is clear," the council leader announced. "Recent events have proven that warfare against Deathworld species, particularly humans, is inadvisable. This session will determine new policies." Emily watched the various alien representatives murmur among themselves. Some showed fear, others respect, but all paid attention when she stepped forward to speak. "Members of the council," she began, her voice steady. "You've seen what humans can do. You've witnessed our strength, our endurance, and our combat abilities. But you haven't understood why we have these traits." The chamber's displays showed footage from recent events: the space station defense, the training arena fight, the colony incident, and the Mars battle. Each demonstration of human capabilities had shocked the galaxy. "We didn't choose to be strong," Emily continued. "Earth made us this way. Every human carries the legacy of countless generations who survived one of the harshest worlds in the galaxy. But strength isn't the same as aggression." A representative stood up, his crystalline form shimmering. "Yet your history shows constant warfare among yourselves. How can we trust such a species?" Emily smiled. "Because we learned from our history. Yes, we fought each other. But we also learned to make peace. We discovered that cooperation is stronger than conflict. That's the real lesson Earth taught us." "What do you propose?" the council leader asked. "A new approach," Emily replied. "Instead of fearing Deathworlders, work with us. Earth's harsh conditions didn't just make us strong. They made us innovative, adaptable, and determined. Those qualities can benefit everyone. The debate lasted hours. Emily answered countless questions about human nature, Earth's environment, and humanity's goals in space. Finally, the Council reached a decision. "We will create new policies regarding Deathworld species," the Council leader announced. "But first, we need humanity's input on these policies. You understand your own capabilities better than anyone." As Emily began working with the Council on the new regulations, she realized something important. The galaxy had feared humans because they didn't understand them. Now that fear was turning into respect. "We're not just warriors," she told her aide as they left the chamber. "We're survivors who learned that the best victories don't require fighting at all." The galaxy was about to change its entire approach to Deathworld species. Sometimes the best way to handle dangerous abilities was to recognize them openly and plan accordingly. John walked down the long, dark hallway. The only sound was his shoes on the hard floor. At the end of the hall, he saw a door with a sign. The sign said, "Do not enter." John felt afraid, but he had to know what was behind the door. He reached out a shaking hand and turned the handle. The door opened with a creak. John stepped into the room. Inside, the room was pitch black. John couldn't see anything. Then a voice spoke from the darkness. "Welcome, John. I've been waiting for you." John froze in fear. He knew that voice. It was the voice of his enemy, the evil Dr. Vile. John reached for the light switch and flipped it on. The lights came on, revealing a large laboratory. Strange machines and bubbling liquids filled the room. In the center stood Dr. Vile, smiling an evil smile. "So you found my secret lab," he said. "Your evil plans are over," John said, trying to sound brave. "I won't let you hurt anyone else." Dr. Vile laughed. "You're too late," he said. "My greatest invention is already complete." He held up a small device. It looked like a remote control with a red button. "With a push of this button," Dr. Vile explained, "I will unleash a sound wave that controls people's minds. The whole world will obey me." John knew he had to stop Dr. Vile. This was the moment he had been training for. He leaped forward to grab the mind control device. The final battle had begun.